Marg liked growing up in North Bend, a town where everybody knew everybody.
It was a rural farming community. Most of the kids in my class of 63 were farm kids. The two tallest buildings were the grain elevator and the water tower. We had no movie theaters. We had a bowling alley. That was probably where we got most of our amusement. That and driving around looking for trouble.
Small town in the Midwest. There's nothing really exciting happening, so kind of had to invent your own stuff.
We were able just to kind of take off and just have free reign as kids.
As Marg grew into a teenager, she filled her free time with extracurricular activities, from speech club to drama to spirit club. But perhaps her favorite activity was the square box found smack in the middle of the Helgenberger living room.
I think television was always her love. Sometimes when her friends would want to go cruising, the Maine, which was 1 block or 2, she'd say, no, something's on and I want to watch it.
We used to call her, no kidding, radiation eyeballs, because she was constantly in front of the television set and she'd be really close, so she was looking at everything.
But Marg didn't express any interest in being on the other side of the screen. She planned on becoming a nurse like her mother.
She became the school nurse, the high school nurse, much to our dismay. Ditching class was not going to happen while she was nurse.
Perhaps not. Still, Marg wanted to follow in her mother's footsteps.
So she prepared for in high school, and she took, chemistry and all the science courses.
What kind of turned me around, I think, was I was visiting a very, very small all-girls Catholic nursing program in South Dakota. Couldn't have been colder, couldn't have been more dreary, couldn't have been more depressing. And that was it. We drove home in silence. And that day at the dinner table, I remember telling my mom and dad, I don't think I want to do this.
I said, so what do you want to be? And what do you want to do? And she said, I'd like to be an actress. And I went, Marg.
Nursing being a very practical profession, and acting, well, you never know. I think they had their apprehensions, but they weren't going to discourage her either.
Her dad said, well, fine, let her go to Kearney State and get her feet wet, and maybe she'll change her mind and get it out of her system.
At 18, Marg enrolled at Kearney State University, 150 miles from home.
I just knew that I kind of wanted to see if I could excel and be cast the leads in plays and musicals and just take it from there.
Her first year at Kearney, she won the Best Actress Award in one of their plays.
During summer vacations, Marg worked to put herself through school.
I actually did finance my college education through looking at the meatpacking plant where my dad was a meat inspector, and it was a tough job to get, believe it or not. I actually had an in. So nepotism was involved in me getting hired as a boner, which was one of my jobs. Literally, that's the title, boner. And my job was trimming fat off of tenderloin.
One time when the assembly line was going so fast, and when they were boning out beef and taking the fat out of beef, she said, I kept thinking of Lucy Ricardo when she would stick the chocolate cherries in her pocket. She says, a few cuts of beef, I think, went into my pocket just so I could keep up.
People would get bored, and they would do anything, any form of entertainment they could under those conditions. I mean, to an 18-year-old Catholic girl, this is all somewhat shocking to me because stuff would come across on the line that people would take fat, like form it in the shape of a penis or something like that, just to get a rise out of it and send it down the line. And it would go down all the way.
The job paid well, but not enough to cover all the bills. So Marg took on another job as weekend weather girl.
Weather girl by night, boner by day. The two other anchor people on the show, the newsman and the sports person, her name was Joyce Eisenminger. His name was Harvey Knocklinger. So it would have been the Eisenminger-Knocklinger-Helgenberger report. And since I was low girl on the totem pole, I was the one that had to change my name. So I took my grandmother's name. It was actually sort of a cute name. It was Margie McCarty. And weekend weather with Margie McCarty. I was not very good.
She was better on stage. And after her second year at Kearney, Marg transferred to Northwestern University, having heard the school had a strong theater department.
that kind of really changed things around for me, because that school is a very, very good school, and the students themselves were all very kind of ambitious, and I didn't know what I wanted. I just thought, well, I'm going to go there because I hear it's great, and it'll be fun being outside of Chicago, and it just really kind of changed my life, that school.
Next, another life-changing event.
My dad announced to me, like I am now. I mean, I just kind of like was so astonished.
And later, Marg makes the first move.
We exchanged phone numbers. He told me to give her a call.
I called him, and I think he was surprised.
This is Lifetime's intimate portrait of Marg Heldenberger.